What's going on, guys? So it's official, I'm actually buying a supercar, and I'm only saying that because the brand new 2017 ZL1 just surpassed 200 miles an hour. The Chevy team tested it on Germany's automotive testing proving ground. I guess Papenburg is what it's called, and it went 202.3 miles an hour on stock tires. Now they did set it at 44 PSI, and they have some safety equipment installed as well, but the car is completely stock. It went over 200 miles an hour in one direction, and in the other direction it went 193, probably because of wind or something. But either way, it went over 200 miles an hour. Now they have come up with an average mile per hour, which was 198. So it technically isn't considered a 200 mile an hour car, but it did go 200 miles an hour in one direction. So I mean, I think that qualifies as pretty much a supercar. I understand, yes, Chevy making a supercar, it's really not like, oh, technically it's not a supercar because, you know, it's not $150,000 and it's not a limited production run and it's not hand built and blah, 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 blah. But guess what? This thing will easily keep up with supercars, and it has easily beaten a bunch of supercars around the Nürburgring. So yeah, we're just going to say it's a supercar for now. And I think that it's absolutely awesome that a Chevy Camaro is beating cars that are 4 times its price point around the track. And that is, yeah, like I said, that's absolutely awesome. So I'm very excited. As you guys know, I'm going to be getting a 2017 ZL1 very, very soon. I'm thinking about in a month or so I should take delivery, so please stay tuned for that. So you guys are probably wondering, how the hell am I going to afford this car, right? You're probably wondering, why? Oh, he already has a ZL1. He's got a Jeep. Well, my Jeep was $2,000. And now he's getting another brand new ZL1. So let me tell you how I actually afford these. And I promise you guys, I'm not going to talk about my lemonade stand that I make or my concession stand I made when I was 5 years old. When I was 5 years old, I was playing with toys and building Legos and watching, you know, Disney movies. I wasn't running a business. And some of you guys are probably wondering, how is this kid affording these cars? Well, I'm not a kid. I'm 29 years old. I'm going to be 30 this year in July. And some of you are probably wondering, why doesn't he just invest in a house? What's up with these cars? Well, this is my house. I bought this house 4 years ago. Now, I'm sure you guys have been seeing a lot of videos going around about these young kids owning all these expensive cars that people would just dream to have. I mean, we're talking, people will never afford these cars. They'll go through life and just never be able to afford something like that. And there's kids out there, and I'm saying kids because they are kids, because they're not 18 yet. They are affording cars, and they have like 8 of them, 9 of them, 10 of them, whatever. Now, there's a lot of kids that are watching my channel right now, and maybe you're 13, maybe you're 10, and you're like, I want to be just like this guy. I want to own this car. I want to do that. I want to have, you know, a Lamborghini. I want to have a Ferrari. I want to have whatever. That's cool. And guess what? Those are awesome goals to shoot for. But the probability of you owning one before you are of legal age, like a legal adult, is like this. Like that. Can you see that? Can you see how small that probability is? And I'm not saying that to get you guys down, because guess what? I would never, ever tell you guys or skew you guys from trying to achieve your goal. That you should 100% do that. But the reality of it is, that is not reality. All this stuff you're seeing from these various channels, and I'm not going to name names, but the one channel names with Gay Bar Mirage. And of course there's other channels like this. Wow, guys, I'm buying my Lamborghini with cash. Oh my God, guys, I'm buying my Bugatti with cash. Fuck that. You don't do that. That's just not common. People don't buy cars with cash. And then of course you got the guys like, we invested money, capital. We made a lemonade stand and we put the $3,000 and bought a Ferrari. Invest, put my money, invest, capital. No.
That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works.
Now, I don't want you guys to get upset, and I don't want you to think I'm hating on everybody, because that's not what I'm trying to do here. I'm really trying to give an informative video to you guys, especially a younger crowd. This is what you have to look forward to, or this is how you need to prepare yourself for the future. Now look, here's really the truth. And whether you guys want to believe me or not, or listen to me, I mean, I like to say that I think I know a decent amount about life compared to, you know, a, let's say, 17-year-old kid. Because, you know, I actually did some traveling and learned a lot about life and met a lot of different people. You know, when I was growing up, my parents raised me to very strict standards. When they grew up, they didn't have a lot. They weren't very wealthy. They didn't go to college. They didn't have high-paying jobs. My dad worked in a steel mill for 47.5 years to raise me, and my mom worked at home. They also ran a photography business for 30 years. And they ran their own business, and they know the ins and outs of that. and they've learned a lot. My mom traveled. She was actually the youngest hot air balloon pilot in the world back when I think she was 19 years old when it happened. And she flew around the US. She saw every single state there is to see. She learned a lot. She met a lot of different people. And she took all that info and she told me about it. And she helped me grow up. And I'm not afraid to say it. I'm not afraid to to thank my parents for everything. And they helped me out a lot. And I think that people that make these channels and they make it seem like their life is so glorious, and all you have to do is this. If life was that simple, if we could just own this and buy this and money would flow, if life was really that easy, everybody would be rich. But we're not. There are people struggling. There are people that will never ever be, successful or whatever, because that's just the way life is. And you guys have to understand that. And I don't want the kids out there that are watching these channels to think, oh, I'm gonna own a Ferrari when I'm in high school. And while it is possible to be that young and own that stuff, there's only really a couple ways that it's possible. Win the lottery, have rich parents, or be a movie star, sports star, something of that nature that gains you a lot of money. The reality of it is, when you're a kid, if you're 10 years old right now, go have fun. Go play with your friends, go outside, I don't care, do whatever. Because you know why? When you get to be 20, 21, 25, you're gonna be like, where did my childhood go? Oh yeah, that's right, because all I was doing was thinking about business and creating a business and all that. No, when you're a kid, have fun. Now, if you're in the age group of, let's say, 15 to 20, and you're thinking about buying your first car, and you're thinking about doing all this stuff, guess what? Save your money. Work a little job, whether it be $10 an hour, whatever it is, work a job, save your money. Don't go spending your money on stupid stuff, and you can have a decent car. Or, maybe your parents are helping you. I know when I got my first car, guess what? My parents helped me get my first car. I didn't buy my first car, I'll be honest. My second car, my current car that I have now, I certainly did. I've been paying the monthly payments on that the entire time until it was paid off. Now, my parents did co-sign on it. And that's another thing. When you're young, you can't get a loan because you have no credit. So, unless you have $40,000 or $30,000 or $20,000 to buy a new car outright, guess what? You ain't getting a loan. So you got to go to somebody else to co-sign for you. And that's exactly what my parents did. They instilled it to me to have good credit. And this day, I have almost an 800 credit score, and I'm 29 years old. And that is why I have a house, that is why I have a car, that is why I have another car in the way, because I have a good credit score. I paid my bills every single month on time, in full, never had a late payment, and that's what it takes, guys. It's not about investing your money and penny stocks and fucking all this other bullshit. Don't worry about that stuff. That stuff will come. When you're old enough to actually understand what that stuff means, it will come, and then you can start investing your money. Guess what? Cars are the absolute worst investment you can ever make. So you got somebody out there telling you to invest your money, and meanwhile they have 10 cars? Yeah, okay, let's listen to them. Now, I know I'm going on a gigantic rant here, and it probably seems like I'm very heated, but I'm not really jealous of these channels. Like, I could care less what they have. Like, I'm happy with what I have. I love the fact that I have a Camaro, and I love the fact that I'm building it. I love the fact that I'm getting a new one. I have a house. I've got a dog who's pretty much sleeping right now. But, I've got a girlfriend. Everything, my life is good. It's very hectic at sometimes. It's very stressful and busy, but I don't regret any second of it, I never went to college either. That's another thing. I got out of high school and immediately worked the job. And the American way is to go to high school, go to college, get your degree, get a job. Well, guess what? The American way, unfortunately nowadays, it's not like that. It is harder and harder and harder to find a job with a degree, no matter if you have a bachelor's degree, an associate's degree, whatever. It's hard to find a job. A lot of you guys know I play guitar. I've been playing guitar for 15 years now. And I joined a band, and I played in bands for 8 years. I traveled the entire East Coast of the US. I went overseas to the UK multiple times. I met a lot of people, played at hundreds of venues, and learned a lot along the way. And I think that life experience is much, much better than sticking your head in a book and reading. Because guess what? The real world is not like a book. And I'm sure you guys have seen the video of the dude standing in his garage next to his Lamborghini, and then he goes, my bookshelf of books. Because that's what it takes to get a Lamborghini. But anyways, to get back on track here, I'm not jealous of these channels. Like I said, I could care less. But what really does upset me is all this false information that is given out to the younger generation. It's not real. Please do not listen and think that you are gonna own a mansion when you're 17, or you're gonna own 5 supercars when you're 16. It's just not gonna happen unless your parents are incredibly rich and they want to give you that money. Great, cool. But starting from nothing and having everything, literally in like 5 years, is next to impossible unless you win the lottery. It's just how it is. There's an old saying out there, and it goes just like this: turning $1 into $2 is next to impossible. But if you can't turn $1 million into $10 million, you're doing something wrong. And what that means is, it's a lot easier to get here when you start here, instead of starting here and getting here. There are people that have done it, but it took them a while, and it took a lot of hard work and dedication, a lot of sacrifice too. Right now, I'm really just a regular guy. I go to work, I work 40 hours a week at a steel mill. I make $32 an hour, okay? I've never made over a 6-figure salary. The most I've ever made at my job was $80,000 a year. And that's when I saved up my money and bought my current Camaro. That's where the money came from, you know? And now, last year I made $55,000 because work is slow. And it sucked. And if it wasn't for YouTube and stuff like that, I probably wouldn't have made that much money. I would have had to cut down so much on everything. But you learn to adapt, you know? I'm probably the most real person on YouTube right now. Nothing I'm telling you guys is a lie. I'm not afraid to tell you how it is. I don't care. Like, I don't have nothing to hide. That's the thing. These guys that beat around the bush and tell you the exact same stupid thing, but you really don't know. It's like, wait, so how do I get that successful? And they tell you this line of bullshit, and then you're like, but wait, what about all these other unanswered questions? Yeah, exactly. Because they're lies. They don't know what to say. All of it's a big lie. They make up something, and then another day they say something different, and then this video is something different. Everything adds up to a bunch of bullshit, basically. So like, what are my plans? My plans, I mean, when I started my YouTube channel, I didn't really think anything of it. I was like, I'm gonna make some videos and post them, and then I saw a financial gain, and I was like, wow, so I can actually make this much money doing this if I do that? Cool. And that's what I did. I've gained a following. I've kept posting videos. I've made some good money on some high viewed videos. They bought me certain things for my car, which I would not have been able to buy if I was just working my regular job, especially last year when I made so much less money than I had previously. And as far as this house goes, you know, I lived at my parents until I was 25 years old. 25 years old I lived with my parents. And I'm not ashamed to say it. You know why? Because I didn't want to move out when I was 18 and waste my money on an apartment. I wanted to immediately buy a house and invest in a house. That's the best way to really invest your money and also own something. You watch these car channels and all they're doing buying cars, but that's not how you want to spend your money. Buy a house first. Invest in a house. You know, then from there you can be like, all right, I'm ready for my car, I'm ready for this, and you can get your car, whatever car you want. You'll be very surprised at the amount of money you'll be able to save once you buy that house, and once you really get a feel for living on your own and doing all that. It's not that bad, it really isn't. It took me 2 years from when I bought this house to buy my car, and now 2 years later, I'm buying another one. Yeah, I have worked really hard. You know, the past 8 years when I was in a band, we traveled to the UK, we toured, we wrote albums, we did everything. Like, that was a lot of hard work, and I transitioned from that to YouTube, and now I'm working really hard on that and also doing a job in the mix of all this while trying to have a life, take care of my house, you know, be with my girlfriend, be with my family, and maybe relax every once in a while. But, you know, when you're trying to be successful and you're trying to do something and build a brand, when you're trying to do those sorts of things, there's really no time for rest. There's really no time for naps. It's go, 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 go if you want to be successful. And successful is a very loose term too, you know? Someone might think successful is to be a billionaire. Somebody else might think successful is to have a family, have kids, own a house with a white picket fence. Call it a day. Whatever you view as success in your mind, I think you should go for it. But please, 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 take what some of these channels say with a grain of salt, because it's just not reality. So that about takes me to the end of the video, and if you guys listen through all this, I really do appreciate it, because I can guarantee you right now, you're not going to get a more real and down-to-earth person or channel. I'm just a regular guy. Like, that's just how it is, and I'm hoping a lot of you guys can relate to that, because most people are regular people, and I hope you guys respect that from me. But that's how it is, and that's the truth of the matter. And I know a lot of you guys have been asking questions about that. I always see comments like, oh, you ready to gloat about your money, oh, it's just a little rich kid, and I'm just like, come on, I'm 30 years old, I own my own house and my car, and you know, that's it. That's how it went down. So either way, thanks for watching this video. A lot of good stuff is coming. Stay tuned for the new ZL1 on the channel. My current ZL1 is also getting finished. The roll cage should be in very shortly, hopefully this weekend. There'll be a video on that coming soon. I'm very excited to put that car on the drag strip and run a fast time, and I'm really hoping to break the ZL1 stock cubic inch record. So as always, give this video a thumbs up. Check all my social media out below. Follow all of it. Hit that subscribe button. Have a great day.